Hello and welcome to Cats and Rolls, where a bunch of theater nerds and good friends play little D&D. We're so happy that you joined us. Take a moment to subscribe to the show. It takes just a click and earns our unending thanks. Drop us a like and leave us a comment for Campaign 2. Our videos are uploaded here on YouTube every Friday, and we have tons of great content to explore. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start the show. Last time, our crew adventurers found yourselves spending a night in jail after the discovery that Taj, the mysterious member of the scouting party, was actually a powerful fae in disguise. Barak revealed that he never trusted him, but would need you all to uncover the truth to convince the chief. During the night, Andulas used Dottie to keep tabs on Taj, who was performing some kind of ritual in the chief's throne room, until she was carefully carried back to Andulas by a mysterious mountain lion who knew exactly who Andulas was. After a less than restful night, you were taken to the chief's chamber, where a series of interrogations, attacks from Taj, and defenses from Barak helped convince the chief to take the conversation out into the light of day. Lucky and Taj entered into a series of mental competitions and games to keep Taj's secret manipulations hidden, until finally he grew tired of the game, teleported into the throne room, exploded the floor, revealing a swirling vortex of aether haze, mysterious creatures made of blue-purple crystal, and a pool similar to the one you all discovered on the mountains of Makta. Saying his goodbyes, Taj sucked all the aether into the pool, draining all of you of your magic except for Lucky, as well as and knocked Andulas unconscious before he vanished from the chamber. As you all reacted, you heard an odd clanging sound as Andulas's body hit the ground, his disguise vanishing as the magic was pulled away, revealing a beautiful platinum gold metallic body. What would you all like to do?
Oh no, Andulas site's been cursed.
I'd like to go heal Andulas.
Okay, all right.
Bonnie's gonna run.
I'm gonna go. Help Lucky and Bonnie however I can.
I will use.
Do you have lesser restoration to remove whatever foul curse has turned Andulas site into this?
Stop talking. Woo-hoo. I need to concentrate.
The Andulasite.
And can I just I imagine that Bonnie beats me to Andulasite, and I just have to slowly push her to the side to put hands on him. Oh my god. So I'll do a second level cure wound.
Okay, all right. You can go ahead and roll.
My last second level for the day.
All right, I'm gonna throw a blanket over Andulasite from the neck down.
Sure. Head still exposed and very, yeah.
All right. Let me know when they're conscious.
We'll see how much healing comes up here.
$32.
32 points of healing.
Damn!
Andulas.
Yeah, whole deal, baby.
Yeah.
That's more than my full
I know.
health.
That's
Andulas.
literally my whole deal, guys. that's why I get mad when you guys do it instead. You cannot do it as well as me.
Thank you. Yep. Now, Andulas, there are a million flashes of life before your eyes that in this moment you do not recognize. A farm on the edge of a long plain, a towering cloud of blackness stretching a mile into the sky at the edge of the farm, a faithful hen trotting at your feet around the farm as you care tenderly for crops, a smiling face of a neighbor, the flutter of your heart at their laughter, a dark night and shadows pouring from the towering veil as they always promised that they would. And then there is darkness. Not the darkness of sleep or death, but the darkness of a time before birth. You're uncertain where you are, or where you've been, who you are, whether you are alive or dead. You feel the careful, loving hands of craftsmanship fashioning something onto your shoulders, and then the center of your chest. And then there is not darkness, A pulsing blue glow begins, slowly at first, almost imperceptible, and then glowing behind your eyes faster and faster and faster until it mimics the beating of a living heart. A pulse of existence, of being. You feel cables being unplugged or removed from the back of your neck, and a voice. Just one moment. Take your time before you open your eyes. It will be quite bright. And you pause. The beating of the heart growing more steady and strong, the black of your vision replaced by the rising and falling of this warm blue light. And you try as you might to open those eyes, and you know now that you did, that you saw your creator, that you lived a whole life learning and training with them. You had a name, you had a purpose. But darkness takes hold of this vision again. The blue light fades, and the sound of purpose is replaced with the wind blowing calmly through trees, birds twittering in the distance, the warmth of a sun, the hug of moss and underbrush. For how long you do not know, as you are only dimly aware of where you are, who you are. And then finally, something pulses within your heart again, the core activating, and your eyes open to the blaring sun directly above you and a welcoming voice. Ah, so you wake up after all. Let's get you cleaned up, shall we? And then the vision fades, and your eyes open, and you see Lucky, Ravik, Kieran, and Bonnie standing over you.
Oh.
Okay, hey, just don't move, champ. Just stay down there for a second. Just take it easy, all right? Now, I don't want you to have a bit of a shock, but there's something that is gonna surprise you a little bit.
Bonnie.
You see,
Bonnie.
you got hit with like
I
this
think they
curse.
know Bonnie.
I will literally, can I grab Bonnie to try to get her to look at me and be like, stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So you reach out and grab
Okay.
Bonnie. Yeah.
Can I make a intimidation check to be like, shut
Absolutely.
up, shut up?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Incredible. So good.
All right.
Is this a contested intimidation, or what would this be?
So typically,
Like an insight check to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Bonnie can insight.
You know?
Lucky. Mhm.
I got an 18.
Okay.
An 18 intimidation versus my insight?
Yeah, it's not a versus so much as like how much
Okay.
is Bonnie reading what Lucky's putting out there.
7.
Okay, I think like you failed in the sense that Lucky's personality is more powerful than Bonnie's in this moment, and you can react the appropriate way.
But if we had like something that could cast disguise self, well, no one would know the difference.
How long was I out?
Just a moment.
Not
He'll do
very
as soon
long
as
at
I got
all.
over.
He ripped all of the magic out of me. I don't feel it right now.
It's not a very pleasant sensation. I think a few of us here are suffering from it. You're not alone on that.
And he's gone.
From what
Yeah,
we
he's
can
gone.
see,
I sit up, and I think when I sit up, I look down at my hands, and like eyes wide, look up at all of you.
And the blanket falls away. And wearing the same garb, but at the center of Andulas's chest, you all see a gem placed in a intricate holder there, gently glowing with this blue pulsing light that's kind of washing out and shining onto Andulas's hands as he looks at them. You immediately recognize that the core of Andulas's heart is made of zephrysite.
This is kind of awkward.
Why?
I was thinking about. Well, I mean, I just didn't. It's a lot. I didn't want you all to know this yet.
Oh, I am understanding so much right now. I'm so sorry, Andulasite. Just let me know what you need from me, okay, sweetheart? But I don't think any different of you.
Like you say that, he's like looking up at you, like very emotionally.
I'm gonna give him a big matronly hug.
Oh, you get the hug back. He'll like
stand
get
up, or you just want to rest there for a little bit?
No, I'm good. We should. He taps his circlet again. Are there any Leonin in the room with us?
No, so you all raced in. Barak stayed back to protect the chief. So you all are alone in the chamber for now.
Yeah, he like quickly taps the circlet again, and you see he's like, you back to elf. I think it might. Some people have never seen what I am, and I think it might freak them out.
I don't mean to be rude, but what are you exactly?
I've met Modron before. Never seen one that could cast, though.
Josh, I don't know if I don't know if I know the name.
So make a history check.
Okay.
Or you can make just a wisdom roll.
Okay, I got a 19.
A 19. There have been so many questions since you woke up. Disconnection from any kind of sense of past. But it almost seems as like a hard reboot occurred in this moment. And while there are still pieces missing, you do know at your core that you are known as a light forged.
We're called Light Forged. I don't know if any of you have heard of that or seen one.
How many of us have heard of?
Ravik has met one.
Mm-hmm.
He did. And I remember that.
Because Ominira was with you all, right?
Yeah.
We went to Azalor?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might have had her little disguise going by then, though.
Yeah, she might have. Let's see.
I can't remember if he got properly introduced or not.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
There was a lot going on.
There was a lot.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah, we'll just DM Brandon. We'll be like, "Hey, Brandon, do you remember?"
Yeah.
He just watched it.
Like, based on the roll I just did, the disguise was probably active for the most part, Ravik, but you would have caught a glimpse occasionally of this creature on the ship. Never really left the ship. Did not travel down into Azalor with the rest of the Seablade crew or with the ticket takers.
I'll put my hand out for Andula's side, and I said, "Well, let's get you back up on your feet. Make sure you're steady. How's that sound?"
Yep, he takes your hand, and
I'll just guide you up and make sure you're good to stand on your own.
yeah, he seems like very sturdy. Like when he's not injured, he's like a robot. So,
do you need anything? Do you need like some? I don't know.
Don't do it, Bonnie.
From what?
I don't know. I don't. I know why you didn't eat my cooking now, and I just want you to know I'm not offended at all.
Yeah.
But if there's anything at all you need from me and Dulasite, you just tell me. All right?
Yeah, it's okay. You guys should just not even think about it. Honestly, just Not unless we have to like go in some water or something, but we could just ignore it.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have a lot of questions, but I'm gonna do my absolute best. All right.
Yeah, maybe like one a day, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I'll do that. Thank you so much, Andulas.
And
Now that we know, we'll be able to avoid some awkward situations. But it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Should we go?
Are you still you?
What?
Are you still you?
He like looks at you really confused. He's like staring at you.
Do you still feel like you? Anything changed? Anything like that?
I don't know.
From my hide.
What does a you feel like?
It's a very loaded philosophical question, Kira.
Yeah. I think
basically,
my
if you feel like you did before, then you're still what you were before. Nothing has changed.
So. Okay. Maybe we should go talk to the Leonin and leave this room.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of wrapping up
I'm keeping an eye out for the little blue stone creatures.
Yeah, you see a couple of them moving around in the chamber below you, and the chamber is probably 30 feet below. But they are like slowly like coming to almost a sense of stasis. And as you're watching them, Kieran, eventually, they, like the ones that are moving, there's a couple that survived what happened. They stop and just turn into statues almost.
Josh, before we leave, are the runes still intact, or did the runes like?
No, like the runes all lit up, and it was basically like a warding explosion, and so they each activated and they took out the floor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But the chamber below you is there. As you are kind of wrapping up your moment here, you see, or you hear, because Barak isn't leaving the chief. He's like, "Is all good in there?"
No, but yes.
There's a big hole in the floor, but we're all
That would alive. Be the no.
Is there a threat, or is it safe to enter?
No threat.
Okay. And Bart kind of walks in with the chief, like on his arm a little bit, and they clear into the space. And when they get a vision of the remains of the throne room, they just kind of stare out at it. And the chief, leave the bastard to do some redecorating, I suppose.
Nice area rug. No one will notice.
I think someone might fall through. What is below? And he kind of walks up to the edge and looks down at the chamber. I didn't know that was there.
Yeah, I think Fae have been using pools as some kind of way to enter our plane.
Right under our feet the whole time.
It's not your fault. I mean, he was a very powerful Fae. Very powerful.
He looks at Barak. I suppose this is the last time that I do not trust the words of the family of ancient chieftains. Thank you. And he kind of looks to each of you, for saving me from my own stupidity.
We were only doing what we thought was right.
Yeah. He did seem really cool, so that's not really your fault.
And you did listen to us or give us a chance, so
absolutely.
Most people wouldn't have.
Well,
we're grateful for what your people have done for us. So,
well, I don't.
It's a mutual beneficial.
I don't have much to offer, but feel free to go to our shops and take something from each of your liking, as well as these. And he produces 5 objects that are in his pocket. He said, these were taken from the Fae that attacked. And he holds out the 5 similar little silver slivered, or the yellow slivered motes of crystal to you.
Each take one.
You each take one. And as soon as all of you have one in your hands, they spring out of your hands. All 5 in your hands, the 5 that are in your packs fly into the air. And at the center of your group, they all smash together and form this like jagged crystal, a larger structure. You now not have 10 motes. You have 1 larger mote.
Well, that's an interesting little trinket there.
And all of you suddenly feel this like, not a burst, but just like a breeze of some kind of magic flies off of it into each of you. And then it settles back down into Lucky's palm. Mysteries upon mysteries happening here today.
Do I recognize what kind of magic this is?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
I mean, that's just really convenient. If it had gotten more than 10, we would have lost one of them for sure.
Sorry, I buy pretty dice, and then you're like, oh yeah, the number.
Are so hard to read.
Yeah. So real.
Okay, that is a... Was I rolling Arcana?
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, because you can add your wisdom to that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Otherwise, it would be rough.
Yeah. So as the cluster lands back in your hands, Lucky, and you go to examine it, you open the part of yourself that understands magic, and it kind of washes out into the space around this as you're staring at it. And suddenly you all watch as Lucky's vision goes like bright white light kind of like drifting out of Lucky's eyes. And Lucky, what you see is suddenly you're standing in the center of what can only be a field of innumerable stars, all around you, burning bright, some distant, some much closer. And there's a black shape standing silhouetted in front of these thousands upon thousands upon thousands of stars. And they are staring out into the inky blackness. But you can tell that he's not looking at the stars. He's looking at the space between them. And he says, "Stars. Anna was one of many. So many stories to see and understand. So many mysteries to uncover. Even when a star dies, its light will travel across this universe eternally, an echo of all that it ever was, and a promise of the warmth it once provided." And he begins to turn to face you, but the moment his visage starts to clear and you think the silhouette would fade, the vision clears and you are back in the chamber. And you recognize that this is not the type of magic that a wizard or a sorcerer would understand, because it is divine.
Sorry, I just almost wanted to like get up and run around. I got so excited.
The zoomies, they're like just
zoomies. I really got the zoomies for a second. Okay.
Gosh, I appreciate you not misgendering the being beyond human comprehension.
They can use any pronouns they want.
Yeah. It's difficult to tell from a silhouette. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all / encompassing. Those are their pronouns.
There
exactly.
But you recognized immediately the voice.
Oh yeah. No. I got you, Josh. I think I'll pull back for a second. Like once I like come to, and I'll take a moment and I'll go, This is divine magic.
From what divine being? I mean, I thought they were all no longer with us.
Well, the gods of this world, no, but there are many gods still out there.
This is the second time
silence, the
Kieran has
darkness.
said a random thing that none of you are like, what? Yeah, go ahead, Kieran. Sorry, you were naming
Silence,
some.
the darkness between the stars. Beings like that.
Well, what god from another world would have taken interest in our little flights to the heavens?
Just as a side, no one born or raised in Illyria would comprehend what Kieran is saying.
Yeah.
You have grown up your entire life.
I take that back.
Yeah. It's like literally incomprehensible.
That there are only 9 gods, and this is the only thing that exists.
This is like almost blasphemous to be saying.
Those 9 gods created all the planes of existence, but this world was the only world that they created, and this was their only creation.
So, Kieran, how hard did you hit your head? Are you okay?
Well, look, he's entitled to his beliefs, all right? We're not gonna dispute what Kieran's saying, even though he's...
I'm just saying, I believe that there's a concussion here.
Maybe this isn't the time for this, but I would love to hear more on that, Kieran.
Absolutely. And look at Andulas and just go, you may not be the only one sharing secrets tonight.
I hope it's not just me.
Please.
Yeah, we'll all sit around the campfire.
We'll all, you know what? We'll
unload on each other.
We'll all share one at some point.
That's really nice.
The chief, and Barak kind of standing nearby, are allowing you to have your moment. And then the chief finally looks to each of you and then to Barak and says, I will draft a letter. See the centaur freed. Give him the letter and convince him to take it to his home. If this creature is going there next, they deserve the warning as a potential olive branch of the peace that we both deserve.
I think that is a very noble course of action.
A course of action.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I hope this means you two can reconciliate in some way.
Because I have a feeling that neither they nor you had anything to do with the removal of the stone.
No. And if Taj was feeding on the magic of this realm, aside from the powers that exist, the stone giants, the opal, the heart and the dagger, the seed of the plains may be one of the most powerful artifacts. Outside of the protection of Jadfiel, I can imagine why he would want it in his grasps. Jadfiel is new. You've heard Cardfiel. Jadfiel is a brand new term.
So we'll inquire. Who exactly is
Jadfiel? He says,
Jadfiel.
There was once a powerful city of dwarves here, built into the remains of a volcano, an active volcano, but they managed to close off and harness many of its chambers for their own use. It was a city of great splendor before the veil darkened this realm. When they were abandoned by the dwarves of Eldritch Peak and lost the ability to transport home, they sundered all connection with their ancestry and became a shadow of their former selves, and therefore call themselves Giant Fiel. They no longer live in hearts of mountains, but in the shadow of them. He kind of walks around the chamber and to his throne room, and you see him take out like a leather skin, and he begins to scratch out a message or a missive on it as Barak is standing with you and says, "I do not know the impact that you all have had on our community, but to see the chief so recalcitrant, something new. A positive change, I believe. Thank you once again for saving my daughter and getting us out of the thumb of something we did not know that we were being controlled by."
Thank you for believing us.
I would say we owed you one when you intervened to save us back in that crevasse. So
another
thank you.
Danger of our own creation, it seems. Are you all planning on heading on towards the valley today?
I'm thinking we might want to escort the centaur. I would hate for something to happen to him between here and his people, because I feel like I could guess who might get the blame on that one.
That's a good idea, Bonnie.
Also happy to send a party of my own making, if to aid in protection of the centaur if you all have other places to be.
That might be interpreted the wrong way by the centaurs. Seeing a war party approaching.
We are quite stealthy, but I understand. I do not know how they welcome outsiders, so I'm not sure if your presence would be any lighter, but it is your choice, of course.
Well, we've already ended up in one cage. What's another?
Perhaps we should move quickly.
The nearest...
The valley, though.
The nearest centaur
Drop off
camp
the
would
centaur.
be probably a week's travel.
Oh,
Outside of Leonin territory.
Drop him off, then head straight to the valley.
If you would like to just take him to the edge of the territory, back into safer lands for a centaur, you're probably looking at a half day's travel back through the gorge to the plateau.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go until we find a centaur patrol or something of that nature.
But please take Dejan up on the offer. Any of our shopkeepers will gladly award you with your choice of good on his note. And Bart kind of goes over to where Dejan is. Dejan hands him the scroll, and he comes back and hands it off to you all, and then goes out to check on his family.
Do we want to check out the chamber below before we leave?
yeah, I was gonna... How concerned are we about leaving them to deal with this and their limited magical exposure?
I think they've proven themselves to be quite capable.
Absolutely. If there are things that we can do while we're here, I don't think it would hurt to do a quick little run through of the space below. Just make sure.
Yeah, maybe there's a mural with a arrow that points to it, and it's like, bad thing here on a map or something like that. Like, yeah, let's give it
And
a
also
try.
Like Josh does all the time.
Click here.
If I go down there, I can't really go back up, so I'll stay with the rope up here.
Okay. You lower a rope and climb down the 30 feet. Lucky, Rabbit, Kieran, and Bonnie. And the chamber is almost identical to the one that you encountered in Makta, except seemingly better preserved, except for now the hole in the ceiling and the fresh coating of dust of the exploded rock. But the columns here around the pool are much more intact, and the carvings that are on them more clear. It is still just a 2-foot deep pool of water, flat like a mirror, surrounded by intricate carvings. And then at the back wall, there is that similar mural structure of those entities that you saw in Makta, those images of stars and planets and galaxies with these impossibly large creatures standing in those spaces. The kind of feminine figure with the stars collapsing into their grasp, the giant maw about to engulf a planet, a small child standing in the space between 2 stars, and a few others. But those things are all here. What kind of investigations would you all like to do in the chamber?
Josh, is this is ringing bells for me, right?
Oh yeah. Now that you just mentioned them as well, like you can clearly see the one that seems to be birthing all of the stars around it, kind of
primogenesis,
like primogenial chaos. The more female figure whose mouth was open in the scream, who had all of the stars pouring out of the bottom of her dress, seems to be silence. There's the one
inevitable end,
like the black hole that's sucking in everything around it, and then the face that seems to be eating the planets seems to be Prime, and then the small child standing between the stars seems to be the darkness between the stars. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
You don't say this out loud, dude. This is just in your head.
No, this is just in my head.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any
beautiful artwork to the rest of us, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow,
well,
yeah.
You've seen this artwork
So
before.
pretty.
Slightly terrifying. Any investigations you can roll if you want? If there's something particular in the room, there's the statuesque remains of those 2 creatures, as well as you can see like the powdered, dusted remains, like where you can kind of see where one was standing, and then it got like blown back, and there's just like powder on the ground from where it was standing. There's those to investigate. The runes and carvings on the actual thing are stronger if you want to investigate that. It's just kind of like what you want to dig into.
I'm going to collect some of the dust and investigate the stone creature. See if Rodney knows anything about him.
Okay. So you put some of the dust in a vial. It is kind of bluish purple. It's grayish, but when it moves in the light, it has this like iridescent blue purple haze to it. But you've got a vial of that. You can put down aether dust, but Kieran doesn't know what that is. But in your inventory, you can put down a vial of aether dust.
I was going to put purple haze, but
purple haze, yeah. Don't smoke it.
Play I Spy with the room and try to see if there's like things that stand out that make it stand apart from the
other
last one I
chamber.
was in.
Yeah, make an
so,
investigation check.
If one figure is standing in a different location.
Yeah, that's investigation. So go ahead and make an investigation check. Anybody else wanting to look at anything particular?
That's 4. Those are some big figures.
The part, I think you don't notice anything nothing of difference stands out to you as much as how similar it is. Like clearly built by the same civilization that built the previous one, and just as alien as the last room was to you.
Ooh.
Josh, can I look at things to connect dots?
Sure.
Can I connect dots right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Like an intelligence check.
Can I help?
Yeah, but specifically for me, for a conversation I just had.
Yeah, so
and be like, because like obviously, like I as a player, like just heard Rob say things and you say things, and I'm like, those are the same things. But like, can I make a connection in this moment as Lucky to like start connecting these things?
Because it's that, I will let you roll with wisdom.
Okay.
Can I help and give
No,
advantage?
because this is stuff that Lucky only knows in Lucky's head. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Robert, what
did
do
you
you
see
want
that
to
thing
explore?
that I sent you earlier?
Oh no, what were you trying to explore?
I was just gonna see if any of this is coming together as far as making kind of.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a investigation check, Robert.
All right.
And
Did you see that thing that I sent you
just
earlier?
like-
Yeah.
Seen one primordial temple that predates all theological thought. Seen them all.
I use my shiny die.
Yeah.
I got a 21 for investigating the creature.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Kieran's not incredibly well versed in things of magical means. Your family pays people to do that work, so you don't have to. And so you're not. The thing that a 21 gives you is that you do not have the skill set to dissect what this is. But you know, by looking at it with your eyes, that this might be a very valuable material.
How heavy is it?
So the dust itself is like in the, it has a density that is a little more dense than dust would normally be. It probably more like if you were able to crumble hematite into a dust. So it has a little bit of heft to it. And when you're looking at the creatures, the statues, they are just made solid of it. Light does play through their skin to the point where like elements of them look like they're glowing, but they are completely still. Like whatever energy was animating them is long gone at this point.
How heavy are the statues?
They seem to have melded into the stone. It's almost like the stone grew up around their extremities as they came to a stop.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
I'll connect more of the ether dust.
They look very, they have a humanoid shape, but it's almost as if something that is not human wanted to appear as such and was making its best guess. Like they do not have defining features in their face, but you can see like the hint of a brow ridge or the hint of a nose, right? There's no mouth, no eyes, but it's almost like the like a dream of a person versus an actual human. Mm-hmm.
I'll collect as much of the ether dust as I can.
Yeah, however many vials you've got, you can fill up. You could, I would say it would be easy enough for you to get, if you have up to 10 vials, you could probably fill that many.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Roll for Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you. Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that in my fantasy fucking game.
Ravik, what you notice is that the only valuable thing in this chamber is the vials of things that Kieran is currently putting into his pack. But there has been this odd feeling in your chest for about the last 15 minutes, like a pull within you. And you aren't sure. Some kind of element of your magic is craving some kind of power. And you remember where it started was when the crystal structure formed and landed in Lucky's hands. You are uncertain of what that power may be, but whatever spark within you grants you the magic that you possess, recognizes it as something that it wants. And you sense a voraciousness in you that you've never experienced, a dangerous appetite for something in this moment that Ravik is quite certain would be a deadly appetite to satiate. But it wants it. It wants all of it. And it's willing to do anything, pay any price for you to deliver them to it. And as you're looking around the chamber, thinking of that moat in Lucky's pack, you just hear in your head, gather all of them that you can find and bring them to me. Do not trust the weirds with such precious cargo. And then it fades. But you know that delivering this to that would be world shattering.
That's an interesting take.
Any other investigation? Oh, what was your roll, Lucky?
I'll be honest, I gotta roll it again. It's been long enough.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, sorry. Yep.
No, it's not you. It's me. I'm having a brain. It's a 19.
Okay. I think it's easy enough for Lucky to look at this chamber, look at the carvings around you. And there's just like, it is impossible to not look at one of these murals and flash to now twice that you've seen a silhouetted figure standing in front of a starscape. And thinking that they weren't always an adult.
Yeah.
At one point, they seemed to have been a child.
Yeah, I think I probably passed through all of them, but I think maybe take a half second longer at the child.
Yeah, and it's the one that
stars.
Kieran specifically called the darkness between the stars. Yeah, which you now recall. Well, I don't know. Did Kieran tell you that word meant stars? I know Kieran heard it, but did Kieran?
Yes.
Yes.
Kieran did give me that information.
So there's now,
oh no, that means space, doesn't it?
So Al-Farabain Anujim, like Yunud Anujim means stars. So Al-Farabain must mean the darkness between.
The darkness between.
Whoa, cool.
Ooh.
It's all coming together.
But that means that Taj knows about those things too.
Yes. Which would make sense if he was aware of this chamber
Mhm.
and is drawing on its power. But I hate that. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, that's I think that's it for me. So
Yeah, climb back out.
Yeah. Anybody else gathering any of the dust? Kieran grabbed some. Ravik, Andulas.
Oh yeah,
Robin,
yeah.
yeah, you guys could grab.
We're doing this.
I feel like
We're doing
between
it.
you all, I don't know. Like Lucky, I'm not sure how many vials you have, but you can get as many as you like, and it's something that you could explore its properties on your own, or when you get back to camp, trust your arcanists to kind of explore that, or even your alchemists and things like that. But it is a resource that does not look familiar to any of you. Like it's something that's new, and is kind of right up the alley of what an explorer should be looking into. Yeah. But you gather your things and climb back out of the hole. And Andulas is there greeting you. You see the chief is like very much asleep on his throne now. And like the morning's activities over exerting the elderly. You all regather and connect.
Let's get to the centaur.
Hello. Do the side in.
I thought we should hit the shops.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take some time and fill in Andulas site, right? So this is what we found down there.
It's a lot to take in today.
I'll give Andulas side a couple of the vials in case they want to play with them.
Sure. I'll take ingredients always.
Do you look at them or do you just pocket them?
I think I'll look at them later tonight.
Okay.
I'm kind of feeling like I want to get out of this place.
Sure. You all head out of the cavern into the light of day. There's some clouds in the sky.
And can I also, I could tell Barak that I would think that if you remove the water, there wouldn't be a chance that this would happen again, likely. because it seems like the water is like part of this conduit.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. I just want to pass
yeah.
that knowledge along.
Yeah.
Because that's something they could like reasonably accomplish, I think, to secure this a little more.
Absolutely. Yeah, none of you, it's hard. You're making your best guess based on what you've seen it do. None of you can read the runes that wrote the spell that's on that platform. But it does seem now to have some kind of connection either with planar travel or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Okay, cool. Now we can go shop.
All right. So easy enough. Like you can get your fair pick of like beautiful hides or furs from the, like if you like, you know, if you're traveling in certain areas where it's very cold, like that might be nice to have. They're happy to give you plenty of rations, Bonnie, to fill the cart for a travel of fruits and vegetables and fresh things. If there's any kind of metal work or things like that you would need, the blacksmith can absolutely provide something of that nature. There's the scroll merchant who had the map that Kieran was like the regional map that you all were eyeing earlier. Yeah. And then there's just a kind of a smattering of other entities. There's not like there's not like a magic item shop or things like that, but like anything that you can imagine that would be bare necessities for life and living in a kind of farming hunting community, you could find here. So if you want to add an element to a weapon or something like that, definitely possible.
I'm making a shopping list, Josh. I'll put it in my I'll put it in the group chat.
Yeah, just assume that as long as it's not like you're getting like 13 things from the same type of shop, you can get all of those. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kieran's gonna get the map.
Yep, you got it.
And some strips of leather. So basically, as he's making this new sword, he'll be able to have that wrap the hilt.
Yeah.
So
beautiful,
that and a little bit of wire.
Beautiful strips. And you can get the strips in any color. They've dyed some of the strips. So if you want a particular color, they've got several different colors of the leather strip. But it's beautiful. Like you can tell that when wrapped around the wood, it will provide a beautiful grip and cushioning for your hand.
Something dark.
Yeah.
Josh, you said they had like hides and like furs and stuff.
Hides and furs. Oh, yeah, and there's also like herbs and like not like an herbalism shop. Well, there's an herbalism shop basically, but like they don't have magic. But there's also like local healing stuff as well. But yeah, there's hides and furs. Lucky. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to get like a coat or like shawl or like white fur.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, you never know.
Like a poncho?
No. Like something you throw over.
Like a cloak. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Easy enough
like
to find.
Princess Mononoke vest.
Kind of, but like less like full fur cloak and more like you would say you're getting it for colder climate, but you're like, well, that's not really covering enough for
fur around,
to do much.
Yeah, you get it. And then the ones that they sell have these beautiful clasps on them that if you want, like you can clasp around your neck, that have the symbol of Samartage, which is like when they clasp together, it's two Leonin paws that come together like this, and there's like one of them's holding a gem, and then they both lock around the gem.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah.
Love that.
So you have a white fur cloak with your clasp. Anybody else wanting anything from any of the shops here?
I think Ravik will go with Lucky to pick out a new outfit or something. Been kind of slumming it lately. He's not used to the nicest things, but
we've seen Ravik.
He'd want like a
nice, we do like a 2000s movie like
shopping montage.
Yeah. We do that.
Yeah. The beauty of this also is that like the cloak is waterproof too. So like it'll keep the rain out as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He definitely sees the clasp and like that is slightly romantic. Luckily, I like that a lot.
The symbol of their people is slightly romantic.
The shopkeeper goes, actually, that's the hands of the two sisters who helped form the tribe.
Well,
Ravik.
it's all about connection and that intimate relationship.
You have been so helpful. Thank you so much for pulling Ravik out of the store.
We're about to create an international incident.
They were sisters.
They were
not sisters.
In a Sailor Moon way.
Yeah.
Those were cousins.
Oh, no.
Those were cousins.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But yeah, I'll see if I get a new cloak before I'm escorted out of the establishment by Lucky.
You can get a cloak that is like a supple leather, or you can get one that has like they kept that the fur is on the outside of it. One is for a much warmer, like I need something to keep the rain off of me, or something that's going to be warmer if you get into the cold.
I just see Robert being like, do you have one that's like two roommates holding hands?
That's one of like, how about
Where there's a little bit of tension
silhouette?
between them.
No, a full nude silhouette of two lovers who are
Oh my god.
carry something like. Okay, all right, I'll do the water, the water resistant.
The water resistant one. Okay, yeah, and you can get it in like
leather cloak that's gonna
black or brown. They also have it in like a deep red dye as well.
Of course, the red dyed leather.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's the one Robert would go for.
Perfect. All right, so you've got that.
The conversation piece, absolutely.
Yeah.
Among our people, it's the color of the chaste.
Well, traditions change. Trust me.
As we're walking out, I will, or as I'm gently escorting Ravik from the premises, I will just kind of look at him and go, "That's a decent color."
Thank you, Lucky. I appreciate that. I love the way you're wearing your cloak as well.
Thank you.
All right.
Little wink.
You all head out.
No, the wink's too much. I leave.
You all head out and join the group.
So close, damn it.
Yeah, all of you back together.
I'll get jewelry supplies, and if they have any seeds, I want to take them so I can go help.
They've got tons of seeds and like herbs and crops and things like that. You could get a smattering of those. None that you're like super unfamiliar with, but like some of the things that you've encountered in your travels so far in Highwall that you're like, oh, that doesn't grow in Illyria, so you can grab seeds for those. As well as like any herbs that you might use for a poultice or for eventual like healing use or things like that. And you can grab you grab all of that kind of stuff.
Yay. Okay.
And all the shopkeepers are like very happy to help you. Like the message has been delivered, because they also know that the chief pays. So like all this is coming out of his pocket. So they're pouring it on for you.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yep. I come back to the group.
All right. You'll head from here.
Did you get my list, Josh?
Oh, did you send in
it's in
Discord?
the voice chat.
Yeah.
Also, I sent you all updated art for
And it's so
Andulas.
nice.
Yeah.
Great, I love it.
It's so pretty.
My boy.
Where was that?
I sent it
It's
through,
in our
Oh, nice.
Facebook, yeah.
Look,
Facebook chat.
chicken.
Yeah.
I like the pointed ears too.
the only thing probably that you won't be able to find, Bonnie, is a ladder, just because they're cats.
Yeah, it's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
They don't need it.
But everything else on the list you can find. All right. You all head from here to the Centaur, or are you heading back to Barracks, or where are you heading from the shopping excursion?
pick up the centaur probably, huh?
Bonnie's going to go to the wagon and start getting it ready for travel.
Okay, good. The rest of you to the Centaur.
Yes.
All right. So you head over that way, and when you arrive, you can see that like the jail cell door is open, and the guards are passing over a pack to the centaur who has been bandaged up from the injuries that were still sustained, even though Lucky and Bonnie kind of healed him the night before. And he has this very quizzical look on his face as they are kind of passing him things, not really explaining what's going on. And he sees you all coming, and he kind of says, well, I thought you would all leave me to the devices of the cat, but you have an explanation for why the door is suddenly open and I am being sent on my way with a blessing?
There's a message for you to carry as well. From
hand
this
it over.
chief to your chief.
Okay. He kind of takes it for someone's eyes only, and he like is going to open it, but
They didn't say.
Okay.
I'm gonna read it.
He unrolls it and is kind of reads through it. Yeah. You must be powerful outsiders indeed to change the ways of such an old cat.
Part of his throne room being blown up probably helped.
Oh, I would have liked to see that.
No, you really wouldn't have.
Oh, well, I'll take your word for it then.
We hope that this will be the start of more peaceful interactions between your people and the Leonin.
I cannot promise much of anything.
No, not that you would make the promise, but just letting them know exactly what the truth is. And you all need to be on the lookout for similar influences amongst your people. It was obvious that both sides were being played against each other.
Well, I think the story that I would tell of the things that I have seen here will probably carry more weight than the scratchings of the chief, but it may help.
That was my assumption.
We have 3 who lead our herd, and they do not come to as quick of a decision as one man might. But we will see.
And perhaps you could mention the expedition crew that helped to uncover the truth. Not that we're looking for anything as far as compensation, but a good word from someone who witnessed firsthand might be a good thing for our people as we explore this new slice of land that we've come to.
He kind of bends down a little bit and undoes one of the leather clasps around his hoof and hands it over to you, Ravik, and says, I do not think that this is a negative of my people, but the Leonin have always had the rule of hospitality. Our culture does not share the same blessing of outsiders, but if you do encounter any of my kin, this will at least grease your entrance into their good graces.
Well, I appreciate that. It's a mighty fine gesture.
But I do not want you to get shot, and our archers have very good aim.
Well, I'll make sure to keep it somewhere quite visible so we can avoid that outcome. And I'll wrap it around my wrist and clasp it.
Yeah, and looking closer at it, it is like the etching on it. It's almost looks like somebody took some kind of stamp or something and stamped into the leather and then went back over it with a burning tool to provide shading on it. And it is an image of a proud centaur with a bow and arrow in his like grasp, racing ahead. And you can see just like the shadow of like 4 other centaurs like behind him, like moving in that direction. Like moving towards the viewer, like a very powerful image of movement.
And I very, very quietly lean in towards Ravik and about this random ass image of the centaurs.
How
And
romantic.
then again, like you literally went out for me as soon as you started
They
talking.
would get bleeped out.
Yeah.
I think very romantic.
Say it
was what
again.
Lucky said, yeah.
I just said very romantic.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I've been fighting my my Discord. I keep having this issue in Discord where every time I set like the input sensitivity, it doesn't listen
resets.
to me.
Yep.
Yes. Every time. But if I don't have it set a certain way, you will literally hear every single fidget that I make.
Yeah.
And that can't be.
Yeah, that's
That
the only
can't
time. That's
be.
the first time it's had a problem.
Yeah.
All right. He is like, he seems like he is very much about to go. So if you are planning to travel with him, you might want to stop him in this moment. But or if you feel like he can be trusted to travel on his own, you can let him go.
I personally feel like if he's good.
Yeah, let's ask him. Would you prefer us take you part of the way, or
Yeah. Would you like a little company on your journey? I'd personally love to learn a little bit more about you.
He smiles and then says, "I greatly appreciate the gesture, but," he kind of glances down. 4 legs do tend to move faster than 2. And at that moment, one of the guards hands over a bow and a quiver of arrows, and he is strapping those onto his back. And it's like this beautifully ornate quiver, leather, but then wrapped with this carefully, intricately woven linen design around it of blue and white and red. And he's he puts that on his back and like the leather strap across his chest, and he then puts the bow over his shoulder as well. And he says, however, I am not a princeling, Camorda, but I am his right hand. And he smiles. My name carries great weight within this entire community. That marker will, if I make it back alive and they do not think that you killed me and took it off of my body, will buy you as much passage to learn as much of my people as you would like, Rovik. And he winks.
Well, I'm glad to have met you then. Thank you so much, and I'm glad you weren't killed the very first night that we encountered each other. So
no. He does like a shoulder press with his fist, and this is the first time you see that he has like a tattoo on his shoulder. And when he pulls back, you see the exact same tattoo on his wrist, and it's like he was touching those two together. And then he like bows his head and heads off away from the village towards the gorge and back up to the plateau to Centaur land.
Well, if we're not escorting him, maybe we should see if we can stay here one more night.
Could use a bit of rest myself. I'm on wobbly knees right now, honestly.
Yeah. And lucky you have high enough insight to know that when he talked about the prince, he's not just the prince's right hand.
Oh yeah. For sure. No.
Good.
I sent Jace a message that said he's fucking the prince.
I didn't even see that message from Ace.
Perfect.
It's Patroclus to
The subtext was there.
They will write that the prince never married a woman, but he had his very good friend that lived with him all his
Yes.
life.
the prince is a confirmed bachelor.
Yeah.
Which means you're gay, but from a good family.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it'll be easy enough for you all to stay another night. Like Barak already offered basically for you all to stay in his spot again. But if you'd prefer to also sleep out under the trees, you noticed last night that there's many families that, because this is a nomadic community, there's some people who travel here from other places and they don't have a tree house. So they just like camp out under the trees, and there were fire circles deeper into the forest the night before. So you could either rely on the hospitality of Barak's family again, or you can camp out under the stars and the tree, however you'd like to do it.
Well, if we're talking secrets tonight, probably the trees is the better option.
I think it would be nice for us to have a little campfire, leap over, if you will.
And if the weather turns bad, we can always go inside then. But if it's nice,
How's everyone feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really affect me. I don't really even sleep.
That's
not
even
even
the most
not
interesting
knowing
thing about you. Yeah.
We
Well,
would have
yeah.
said that about you being the most likely to not sleep out of everyone in this party before.
Yeah.
All right. So as the evening goes or begins to progress, you all find a spot, and you can see there are several places where they're like dedicated rings of stone in cleared out patches in the underbrush here, where traveling families can set up their little camps for the evenings. And you find one that is not currently claimed. It's a little ways out of town, like still within sight of the lights of Samartage, but far enough distant that you feel like you have some privacy. You can build a fire, and the night is yours for conversation before you all head to sleep. And you can see their guards patrolling as well. So if you feel like you need to set up a watch afterwards, you can, but you also feel that this is relatively safe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel we're pretty safe around the Leonin here, right? This is
Of course, we were attacked in the middle of the village last night by fairies dressed as shadow creatures.
Yeah,
And we
but
dealt with that perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I think they might be regrouping at this point.
Lucky, you have a gift for understatement that is like none I have ever seen.
It's at this moment that
I
Bonnie.
suspect that's not a compliment. I don't know.
It is.
It's at this.
My
moment
father is a master at it. You are on his level.
Thank
I think
you.
Lucky has a lot of gifts that we should be thankful for.
What's Bonnie doing at this moment?
She sits bolt upright, like eyes wide, ears straight up, and she goes, "Oh gosh, I forgot about the fairy."
Oh.
I think they just took the fairy into custody. I think they took the fairy into custody.
That fairy is still under a pot, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's still in a pot.
They can't breathe. And we go back and retcon. What did we do with the fairy?
No, Bonnie's just had it the whole time in the pot.
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
the pot.
no.
So like,
It's fair.
it's still in your pot, Bonnie.
Yeah. I hope it's okay. I didn't make any air holes or nothing.
Oh my god!
You go to listen to it, and you just hear a string of what you can imagine are curse words, but in a language that you do not speak.
Should we talk to the fairy and try to calm it down?
If you'd like to try.
I think we should
Alright.
just hold on.
I'll leave that to Bonnie. I will leave that to Bonnie.
Let's say like 100 sessions, and then we'll like throw it out at enemies at the perfect.
Yeah, I think that'd be, and we'll debate a lot about when that moment.
We'll debate
should
a
be.
lot about when to use
Yeah.
it, and frequently forget that we do have it, and then remember.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
flaming skull.
I was gonna say
Maybe there's a-
familiar.
Maybe there's like a glass
Great.
jar or something that the Leonin have.
Do fairies need to eat? Every
I don't know,
story I ever read
I don't-
growing up was that they like lived off of honeysuckle and stuff.
No, I think we should find a glass jar. Maybe the Leonin can let us transfer her to. At least then we can see if she's
Are we just
slowly
keeping,
suffocating.
Are we keeping her prisoner? What's happening?
If she's gonna stick around, I think. I don't know if we have the capacity to keep a prisoner.
I'll just I'll make something.
Oh,
I like-
great idea.
Make a little cage.
Okay.
I mean, that's why I suggest maybe speak to her, but I don't want to be the one to. She's been in a pot for a day and a half now.
Does she seem to speak common?
Yeah, like if
she
you
had to
speak
for me
to
to
her,
communicate with her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
she's just cursing in Sylvan.
sure.
Hmm.
Like you do.
Do I speak Sylvan?
I do.
Elvish.
Elvish.
Or
Yeah,
It's one of mine.
it's
I
like,
hear all the swears and I'm like,
you hear all the
no.
swears.
oh.
Like Ravik
Just
is
look over
hearing
at Andulas site and I'm like, this. She is.
You're
really
hearing the
nasty.
swears, Ravik, and it's like you are hearing German swears. You know they're swears, and some of them sound very similar to English swears, but they're not quite right. Like the difference between Elvish and Sylvan, right?
Yeah, I speak Sylvan, so
Yeah,
I'm
so
hearing
you're
it.
hearing all of them. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
boy, that's a lot of syllables.
I asked her in Sylvan if she could stop swearing, please.
She kind of says, "If you would like to let me go, then I'm happy to stop."
If we let you go, what are you gonna do?
Find the nearest portal and get the fuck out of here. What do you think?
She just wants to go through a portal and leave.
I feel like that's fine.
Can we ask her any information she may know about Aster? Or the
I don't think-
avatar of Aster?
Okay, I like straighten my back and I'm gonna roll intimidation and I'm gonna roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Oh.
we plan to keep you here as long as it.
No one
I just
no
feel
one
like
told you to do
he
that. And it was
needs-
fat. No one.
I'm talking to Sylvan. You don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck I'm saying.
Do I pick up that Andulas being
Nope.
intimidating?
I rolled a nat 20. I somehow rolled a nat 20. I don't know.
What? So like
You got great dialect.
the fairy kind of steps back and then looks at you. You're Twilight touched, aren't you?
Yes, and I.
This
will
is in
use-
Sylvan, so nobody else heard.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Yes, and I will use the full extent of whatever that power is to do something bad. Don't tell us more about Aster.
Aster is hope for
Right.
the Winter Court, for a future for us out of this duality of summer and winter. We do not like to have to appeal to our warmer climes for our share of the magic that we all deserve.
You wish to establish a permanent winter court?
Well, we have one, but she must deal so closely with her sister. And when war comes to the fairies and someone shuts down the portals that allow magic to freely move from place to place, the well runs quite dry where it is cold. And yet somehow the bright lights of the summer court still shine.
It must be difficult.
It is. You think that we are the only fairies moving in this realm? You have nothing to fear from Aster's will. The Prince of Frost could have killed you. And you're still walking here? Safe?
He did almost kill me, but that. But he did not kill me.
Yeah.
He could not.
Hold on, I'm looking up a name.
I'm too
Could
powerful.
have.
He could not kill me. I am too strong and powerful and very cool.
Where is it?
The great and powerful Oz.
She's like, someone shut the portals. Oh, that person must have been a big idiot. Must have been big dumbass who shut those portals. Crazy.
They must have had a damn good reason for doing it.
Definitely not pettiness against their mom.
Yeah, no.
But
Not
it
at
wasn't
all.
bad.
Yeah, she says, anywhere where the frost touches, it is a call for freedom. I would be much more concerned if I ran into a member of the Order of the Marigold here.
And do you know anything about the next steps you all are taking?
No.
Okay. I think that's everything, guys. I'm like sweating. Oh, okay.
Can I go now?
Yeah, we do it. I will spare you using my great influence over my these plebeians. I turned to all.
Oh, go ahead.
I turned to all of you and I'm like, can we let her go?
I think it's for the best at this point.
She like raises up in the air and then just drops a spell in the middle of all of you and then takes off into the air. As all of you see this like glittery blue light start to course around your bodies, and you're all now glowing with glitter blue light.
Yes. What is that? What is the spell? Do we
You recognize it's
spell?
fairy fire, but yeah.
I was about to toss her up in the air and smack her with a spatula like a badminton racket to send her on her way.
But she, like a blue Tinkerbell fairy light, flies off into the distance and disappears. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I just kind of talked to you all about the conversation we had, the order of the marigold, things like that. Faye being unbalanced.
I'm going to use my staff of flowers and make a marigold blossom and just kind of tuck it like in a lapel.
Okay. Yeah. A little orange marigold. Mhm.
Let me get my book.
And now you all are truly alone and can have any conversations you like without a fairy hearing you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably good.
So I was admiring the cuteness of Sully with her Lunar New Year.
Oh, we.
Marigold. Marigold is disquietude and jealousy, grief and sorrow.
Very Faye.
Ooh.
Mm.
Would you mind very
Sorry.
much, Andulas, if I asked you the one question?
Yeah, that's fine. If we're all going to talk about stuff now.
Okay, so you said you don't sleep.
That's a short question.
Well, it wasn't a question just
Oh,
yet.
okay. The question's coming. Got it.
But can you?
No, but since I've gotten here, I've had dreams for the first time.
Of electric sheep.
I'm not supposed to have dreams. I've never had them before. And it's of things that are going to happen.
Prescience.
Yeah, something. I've never been good at divination or anything, so it's really strange.
Anything we should be concerned about in particular?
I haven't had one in a little while, but I saw the ship go down before it went down. Things like that.
Oh, wow. That would have been a nice heads up to have.
It was kind of like
Stop it.
Oh, sorry.
I've
didn't
never
realize-
had it before. I didn't know what it was. I don't know what a dream is.
No.
It's not at all.
I could have prevented
Forgive me.
all of that.
No, absolutely
Sometimes I
not.
just say things without thinking about them. Lucky knows. There's been plenty of times I put my foot in my
He
mouth.
does
try to
this. This
pay
is
for-
this is his thing.
The ship seems like it'd be really expensive.
Andula side, please
No,
Okay.
don't
Angela,
internalize
like,
it at all.
realistically, what would we have done? Turn the ship around, and if we had tried to go off course, it could have been even worse.
I think
Lucky's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
it was really close to when it happened too. So I didn't know what to do.
But everyone lived. Only the
Yeah.
ship was damaged.
I was really afraid about falling in the water.
Oh, that must have been terrifying.
Well, I
am sorry you went through that.
Well, I mean, I just walk across the bottom of it, but it would take a while.
No, I'm sorry. The water thing is just you. You just sink.
I would sink, and then I would have to walk across the bottom. But then that would have been really hard to explain,
Mm.
and probably would have taken a lot longer too. And I don't swim.
Well, Andulas, I was thinking about that today, and I picked up something that I thought we could maybe use if we ever were in kind of a situation like that.
Bonnie's going to hold up the block and tackle.
What is that?
So this lets us lift 4 times what we normally could. So if you ever get somewhere we need to get you out, we can just lower down a rope on this, and you can hold on to it, and we can pull you up.
And Jill starts like crunching numbers in his head.
It's probably pretty accurate. 4 times, probably. Yeah.
That might work.
As long as Andulas is less than, and this is just Bonnie's strength, but Bonnie's max with the block and tackle is 720 pounds.
That's probably pretty close. Yeah.
A couple of people can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I do get worried about being stuck places. I usually just take spider climb so I can.
Oh, well, she puts the
climb
block
out.
and tackle away.
No, I mean, but if I don't have to take the spell, then I can take other spells too.
Okay, well, good.
And there may not, we may be in an area with no magic. Be bad. Does anyone else have a question?
Still curious. You seem to be like a Modron, but like I said, you can cast spells.
I don't know what that means.
None of you do.
Yeah, you're making up words again.
Kieran, sometimes you
Kieran.
say things like we're supposed to know what they mean, and I don't think any of us know what they mean. And this is one of those times.
Okay. What do you know about the Astral Sea?
The what now?
The Astral Sea. None of you ever heard of it?
We flew over an ocean. Is that like not the same thing?
Yeah, I know about all the seas. I've spent a lot of time sailing them. I've never heard.
What do you
one.
know about different planes of existence?
That you do all
Oh,
know.
that's
Like the
Feywild.
the planes of existence.
yeah, the
Right.
water
So-
plane. Yeah.
So one of the planes is the astral plane, and on the astral plane, it's a sea, the Astral Sea. And the astral plane touches the prime material plane, which is where we are, in various places, but it's much closer there than it is here. So if you know how and have the right magics, you can sail upon the Astral Sea and go from one world to another. So, and each of these worlds has, well, most of them have their own gods. There's differences. And so I'm not really from around here.
Is that how you got here? You're a sailor?
No, my father owns ships.
Really?
You're like a pirate?
My family is one of the. My father is one of the merchant lords of the astral plane. I grew up in another world, and so this.
You're a businessman?
No. Well, my family is, yes.
He's a nepo baby.
Wow.
Well, you see,
Come from money.
you're
Kieran.
not entirely wrong. You see,
Oh
with
my
my family,
Not necessarily a derogatory term. It's what you do with it that matters.
it's the eldest child takes over the family business. So my oldest brother is learning the merchant trade, and all the other siblings. At a certain point, we are turned loose for 7 years to go make ourselves what we will. The goal is to become outstanding at something, and so that way, when you come back, you can be a resource to be married off or traded off to other families to increase the family's power.
And yours is being cool.
Mine is to become the greatest swordsman who ever lived.
The same thing.
My elder sister is a world-renowned chef. World's-renowned chef. So, yes.
The family page on Kieran's Wikipedia is just all blue links.
Yeah. 100%.
Stop it.
Oh my god.
So, yes.
What? So you're not from the astral plane? That's not where you were living?
Well, the family stays in Eversea. But we have merchant stops in different planes. We discovered this one, and so part of my charge is not only to go and prove myself, and become outstanding at something. I chose sword fighter because it seemed, well, I was inspired by my favorite book, and it would also piss off my father. But I'm also here to look for business trade opportunities. As you can imagine, what is valuable on one world can be, the further apart away you are from something, the more valuable it becomes. So if you get something on that only exists on one world and find a market for it in other worlds, that's how you become filthy rich.
That's why you were picking up that powder in there.
Well, among other things, part of my charge is to try and find if there's something valuable on this world that's worth trading. The Zephyr site is definitely something that my family would be interested in trading, and learning from the giants and from the Leonin what there's a market for local native made goods, shall we say.
Yeah.
Josh, I want to telepathically talk to Dot, who's like sitting in my lap, and I'm like, whoa, Kieran's really taking the heat off me right now. Oh, what a relief.
And as you have all noticed, his accent has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
Dottie just says back to you, all of you have so many secrets.
I really thought they were going to react to like a lot worse.
You're just you, Andulas.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Kieran affectionately.
So,
So
about the drawing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, each world has its own gods. And in the space beyond the astral sea is where they come from. And there are elder gods that are greater than any of the ones from a single world that anyone with a brain has right to be terrorized by. And so I will info dump the stuff, which I guess, Josh, the easiest thing would be to put in the chat.
Yeah, I can put it in the chat. Basically, for everybody, for anybody, what you hear from Kieran over the course of probably the next 30 minutes or so is a story about a place where gods are born, and then they eventually go, when they die in whatever realms they've created, their souls or bodies or whatever return to that space, and that like this is like a graveyard for the gods almost, but it's a return to a home, and that home was created by ancient powers that sprung from chaos at the beginning, or primordial chaos, and all other things came from that, and that many gods do not stay long in those places because small gods like baby spiders often find themselves the lunch of more powerful entities. And when they grow old enough and powerful enough, they flee from that space and they open a pocket within the astral sea and establish a realm of their own that they can call home. And that is what you can assume happened here when the Illyrian gods fled from the far realms beyond the astral sea and founded Illyria. But I will put this document in the chat. I've got to just make some notes, though, that would remove some elements from some prying eyes. But yeah.
The what we know.
Yeah.
I think maybe like Kieran wraps this, and Lucky just kind of stands up and just slowly walks away for a second. Just,
Sorry, I didn't mean to crush your entire worldview.
I don't think Lucky seems noticeably emotional one way or the other, unless you would like do an insight check. But I don't think it's like super apparent. What?
I'm going to worry about it when you come back. because you've obviously got to process whatever this is, and if you come back angry versus coming back happy, I'll deal with that when that happens. I've learned from Ravik. Sometimes you just got to let it ride.
Let it ride.
Yeah, but Lucky, I think takes a sec.
Kieran, how far are you into your journey?
2
How
years.
long? Okay.
So out of 7.
2 out of 7. Okay.
So I spent about a year looking around the world, trying to figure out what's going on, heard about the expedition, thought there was multiple opportunities here. Then joined and spent the year prepping for the actual trip. So
We only have 5 more years with you.
well, it depends.
Depends
okay.
on what exactly.
Depends on how valuable my family thinks I might be.
Well, wait a second. How long is a year where you're from? Now, do they count it by a year there, or do they count it by a year here, or do they attribute travel time, or do they?
This world is close enough to ever say that. If I'm pronouncing that right, Jeff? I mean, Josh.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Eviosia. Yeah.
Whoever the hell you are.
Yeah.
You didn't pronounce one thing right. That's for sure.
You named it. So I think however you pronounce
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
It's close enough that local year will suffice.
I know you said ever see it, but your home world is now Jeff.
Jeff. Is
No.
that what they
There's a meme something about
My world is Jeff.
My world is Jeff.
I saw a meme yesterday, something about how someone's like, if my name was Jeff, I'd be Jeffing everything. Jeff that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
that's
I
where I
think-
assume it
I
came
think-
from. But
I think Lucky returns not long after that. Like it's not like, oh, Lucky's gone for an hour. Lucky's gone for
Yeah,
like
takes a
less
lap.
than 5. Less than 5.
Takes a lap.
Yeah.
everything I thought was a lie. No.
And those is just
Well,
looking at
Unless you do an insight check, you got no idea what Lucky's
Yeah,
feeling.
and
right
the other
now.
side is like looking at you, Lucky,
No
but
insight,
not saying
just
anything.
because I think Ravik would have peeped that Lucky stepped
Got
away.
it.
Let me insight and see. Ugh. You see a 12 on the dice.
Oh,
What's
I guess
my
I
insight?
guess I should roll deception.
Yeah, deception. Mhm.
I got a 15 insight.
I think you beat me. Yeah, I only got an 11. Lucky is not upset. Lucky is not
Mhm.
upset at all.
Okay.
Especially when I think probably when Kieran was talking about that there is a place like a graveyard for the gods that they return to. That is what Lucky got like very much focused on.
Okay. And does Ravik notice that like kind of piqued your interest a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so.
It's probably the moment where Lucky stood up and walked away.
Yeah, I think that's probably the moment where Lucky was like, all right. I gotta think about this. If you keep saying wild shit, I cannot process this.
Ravik will ask Karen. Karen, if you're from this astral sea, we're all tip-faring folks, obviously. Maybe one day you can give us a tour of your astral sea society.
Well, that is one useful thing of being a scion of the family is that I can basically hook a ride on any of our ships for free.
That's amazing. All right, well, we'll
you-
set a date. We'll
when
all
you
get
dropped-
together and
Where was the first place you came to? in this world?
Near a place called Hightower.
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 Did we lose Alex?
Yeah, we lost him for a second.
Hightower. No, he's back in.
He back.
Sorry, guys, my Discord froze.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You good?
Seemed a nice central point, and was obviously a focal point of trade, so it made sense.
And you've only been here a year, and you're already slicing
2
folks
years
in
now.
half with a stick.
Weird.
Oh, 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah.
You're already pretty impressive with that stick. So I'd hate for you to get a real sword in your hands there.
This is a real sword. Oh, and I talk like that because I sound like a ponce using my normal voice, and no one would take that serious.
I think it's cool.
A lot of people who sound like Hanses around here, or where we're from.
Everyone
Yeah, I
has
can- I
like
can-
really
Oh,
weird
someone else's
voices.
turn for a secret.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still kind of curious.
That sounds like
and-
Ravik's turn.
We've
Well,
got
no, well,
plenty more
Andulas' side, I had a
campfires ahead
quick
of us.
question.
Okay.
So are you?
I thought we were talking
from-
about Kieran, but okay.
Well, no, I'm just curious. I met one sort of like you a long time ago. Are you from Nuavia?
He's just staring at you.
This is usually where you answer yes or no.
Um,
Do you know?
it's complicated, I guess. But I don't know everything.
I understand. There's still some mystery to you. That's a good thing.
I guess it's a good thing.
It helps in the romance department. Trust me.
The what? How
romance-
would that help?
I mean, you don't want
mentioned
to.
the Modrons earlier. They're a race of mechanical beings. Like I said, it's rare.
And they're good at romance?
I've never.
I
had one,
have
can't
no
say.
idea. I did not ask that. That wasn't on the syllabi. But there are a society. They can't cast magic. They're mechanical beings. There's something about them that is very logic-based. So they're predictable most of the time. And they're
Do they
logical.
have souls?
I don't know. We didn't cover that in class.
Do they have souls?
You have a soul.
I do? You
And
know that?
As you think about it, Andulas, there's just a moment where from nowhere you feel like a warm summer breeze. The sound of wind gently trailing through heavy grain ready for harvest. It's a memory, but it's something that comes from very deep within.
Yes. Yeah. You're right.
I always am.
That's true. You've literally
You're
never
lucky
been
that
wrong.
way. I also love bad puns. Sorry, couldn't help it.
And that's the worst secret you've held. I can go next for the secrets. What do you all want to know?
Well, you seem to still have a very strong connection to divinity that we all thought is no longer alive. I don't know if you would like to elaborate on that or not, but
when we were cut off from the divine plane, we were left with a finite amount of divine magic. And it will be used up entirely very soon. So most clerics have trouble casting consistently, or are slowly losing their access to magic. I have only gotten stronger since this world was cut off. I was there when Caiaphas consumed Bellinor. I was at the temple where we were evacuated. And not very long after, I began to hear whispers. At first, I thought they were just thoughts in my head. And then I realized they weren't. I believe a god is still contacting me.
Like the... Is it just like something you hear, or is it something you feel?
Both. I believe it is tied to why my magic is still strong and only getting stronger. In places of those spots we found occasionally where magic is more wild with the ley lines, I feel exponentially powerful there. When, in theory, I shouldn't have as much control at all.
Do you know which god is contacting you? Is it your original god that you prayed to, or someone else?
I never spoke to Bellinor.
Oh.
He was asleep as long as I was alive. I don't think so. I think they're from somewhere else.
One of the gods that Kieran mentioned from another place, from the sea?
That's what I suspect.
Oh.
To be honest, that's a bit terrifying.
I don't think you could say that after everything you said.
Our gods were terrifying too. They were alive.
That's the truth. Giant dragons flying around and their world splitting open. It was not a fun time.
So, I don't know what being has chosen me, but it's the second time in my life I've been chosen by a god. I think it has to mean something.
Well, let us hope it's the darkness between the stars or an inevitable end.
I very much suspect it's the former.
That's actually the best case scenario.
Really? Oh, good. I was hoping you wouldn't be like, psych, actually, that's the worst one, and they're very evil. No, I think we've spoken. They seem...
So are they trying to get a stronghold here on our world?
Like, I couldn't... We don't... It's not that kind of conversation. It's, call and response?
It's interesting.
I don't think they can reach out and speak as directly as they want to sometimes. But I believe whatever they want with me and with this plane, that it is a good thing. So that's me.
Well,
Hope it is
just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody for sharing tonight. I really do feel like
But
we've
Bonnie-
all grown together.
Bonnie-
You've
very-
literally only done 3 people. What are you talking about?
Oh, right, of course. Ravik, you still have to go.
Yeah, it is Ravik's turn.
Well, I mean, what do you all want to know? I'm pretty much an open book.
Oh, we need a secret. Everyone else is given a secret.
Oh, a secret.
An open book must have some secrets.
Well, I'd say I might have more in common with Lucky than we at first realized. The only difference is I think that individuals with a lot of power, control, they only give power to others if they think it'll benefit them directly. And that's one reason why I would be cautious, Lucky, with this new God that's chosen you to imbue its powers upon you. In my experience, those types don't give without expecting a lot in return.
In your experience.
In my experience, yes.
What does yours want from you?
Oh no, just glory and riches. You know what they all want. They want to be praised and want to be at the top of the hill when all the smoke settles. So, best way to do that is gain as much influence and power as possible. And sometimes the smaller folk get caught up in that whole process is all.
And what did you get?
What did I get?
Yeah, you said you got something from them, right?
I got a small taste of power that is in no way a comparison to what I used to be able to do, but at least I could still do something.
You got a bad deal?
I got a debt that I need to pay off is what I got.
I understand.
But it's not all sad. I get to travel around and meet fine folks like yourself.
And do romance.
And do a lot of romance. That's my plan, at least.
Wow.
As much romance as this continent can handle.
Oh my gosh.
And Robert, don't take this the wrong way, but you do have those magnificent rods.
It's not the first time I've heard that. I appreciate that compliment.
There is something both horrifying and comforting about innuendo being a cross-world sense of humor.
Andulas like turns and looks at Bonnie intensely.
Bonnie looks behind her.
Oh, come on now, Bonnie. Everyone's got a little something they can share.
Yeah, weren't you
Doesn't
going
need to be earth-shattering.
Weren't you going to tell us about how you met Harold?
Also, were you not the one who volunteered the secret thing? That was you who said that in response to Andulas?
That's why she wanted to go last. She was preparing us for it.
Well, Harold and I met under very interesting circumstances. I'd been hurt very badly. And when I woke up, Harold had taken me back to his burrow and nursed me back to health, even though he never really had to. And nobody had ever done anything like that for me before, and it was so kind. And I think mainly it was because he had to look me in the face to see what I was saying. So no one else would meet my gaze before. So for Harold to look at me and talk to me, that was really special. And well, one thing led to another, and we've started a family together.
How were you hurt?
I don't want to talk about that.
He healed you. And you... Wow. Yeah. That is special.
He's a really special guy.
He's really cool.
I'm never going to forget the first Springtide festival we had. It was really funny because you're supposed to be the one to dance with your loved one, and there's a whole thing about putting a flower crown on their head, and he couldn't reach. So I had to pretend to be surprised and walk by this giant boulder that was near the entrance to the town so that he could drop it on my head. And even then, he couldn't quite get it. He had to kind of do a ring toss thing to get it over my ears, but it was a good throw on his part.
Wow. That's beautiful.
That sounds very romantic. Very romantic.
Yeah, that's romantic.
Maybe you can get a cloak with 2 rabbit paws on it.
Oh, maybe I will.
Yes, Kieran, maybe.
The gloves are off.
Well, any other conversations in your evening, or things continue and you bed down?
Lucky, can I ask you something off to the side?
Yeah.
we kind of like, as people are bedding down, we kind of like walk off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Lucky, if I'm sorry, I really don't want to be presumptuous to like ask you more about this. And if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. But if you have really strong divine magic, why are you out here adventuring with us?
The church has no power anymore. And there are far worse groups that seek to fill that void.
I understand. If you need us to cover for you, I'm not really good at lying, but I'll make sure I don't say anything and let Ravik talk the whole time.
Oh, I'm not worried about that, but thank you.
Okay. I know people sometimes are weird when they don't understand something. But thank you for understanding.
Andulas?
Mm-hmm.
I like the form you've chosen a lot. And I like the other one too.
Thank you. He'll like wander off
Mm-hmm.
You
the way he
all
does.
find a restful spot for the evening around the campfire,
Yep.
feeling a little closer to one another, and also again successful in your mission here in Highwall. You bed down.
Can Ravik do something?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Right before we go to bed, I'll go off and clear my head, and I'll find a water source somewhere.
Okay.
And I'll cling my rods together to where they make the chime and stick them in the water. And then I'll get the smallest vial of the ether dust
Mm-hmm.
and place it inside of the water. And I'm not even going to stick around. I'm just going to walk away.
Okay. You don't know if the weird picked it up or took it, but you head back to bed down. That gnawing hunger still in you, and you know it's not coming for you for an object which you don't understand, but that you know would be dangerous in his hands. And you fall asleep. Lucky as you go into your dreams, you just hear the voice, warm and comforting. It's nice to have a name. And if they ask what I want, what I'm looking for here, you can tell them it's curiosity. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Wow. Oh, God.
So many things.
Guys, we role played so hard.
It was so good. I think I didn't talk for the last 40 minutes, which was wonderful.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.